Welcome to BS Sessions, presented by AMPR Plaza, where you get the opportunity to go backstage with us and hear the untold stories of how your favorite local bands came to be and where they plan on going.
All right, so we'll get started. This is BS Sessions, sponsored by AMPR Plaza. Tonight we've got some friends of mine with PopSkull Rebels, Jim Doyle and K.A., a.k.a. Teardrop.
Browning. Yeah, howdy.
We'll start right there. Tell us about that Teardrop. How's that come?
Well, we were in between records, and I was going through a situation and just writing a bunch of songs. And Jim gets home for practice and lets his wife, Scylla, our manager, know about it, kind of telling the story about how,
sure can, yeah.
how practice went, you know?
Yeah.
And they go like, that was a good song. She comes back and is like, you know what? She's like, you play these songs out loud, people are going to drink themselves to death. She says, you can't play them songs, Teardrop. You can't do it. You got to save them for another time. So that's when we decided to really just keep the band about up and fun and rowdy stuff. But that was just kind of her joke about me to help me through a tough time, was to give me a silly nickname like that.
It worked. It stuck.
It certainly did.
Yes, it did. You got a guitar strap out of it, too.
I certainly did. A little Hawk Leathers up in Portland. He liked it so much, he sent me a guitar strap down.
Yeah, that's super nice.
Okay, so PopSkull Rebels, we featured you guys live at Knuckleheads back in April. It was a good show. It was the Reckless Wednesday. Also, it was Wednesday, which featured the Chicken Shit Bingo.
Yeah, that's good times.
And Chicken Shit Bingo, I want to get right into that as well. Tell us how that evolved.
Well, I think it comes out of Dale Watson he does that a lot with his club down in Memphis and also in Austin at Guinea's in Texas. And one time, we were just going down there. Hey, we got to go see Dale play. We were down there about 5 years ago just for vacation. So we go down to the club, and it's just a little house, like about as big as this man cave here. By the way, thanks a lot, guys, for having us over here. It's so awesome, man.
Hell of a cave. We got an audience. Cheers.
We'll drink for that.
But anyway, you just go in there, and there's it's about as big as this table. It's a chicken wire coop, and it's about this big and about 4 feet tall. And they got two hens or two roosters. No, it's two hens. And then they got out on the floor. It's just all the checkerboard of like a bingo card, like 1 through 40. And we said, hey, let's go play it, And Dale wasn't playing that night. So anyway, we just went and played Chicken Shit Bingo. And another band was playing. And so I put down like $10. And you can bet on all the numbers, or you can bet on a line or a double line, because that's how it's crossed out and stuff on the floor, on the board. Anyway, they throw one chicken in, and it's rooming around. They got chicken feet on the ground, and it's pecking at it, and just waiting for it to shit. So anyway, it's like 10 minutes later, everybody's like all around it, looking at it, come on. And then there he goes, he drops one, and it's right on a double line. I had a double line ticket. I won $240.
Oh, nice.
So they take you up like Scylla does in Knuckleheads, take you up and count out the money, and I was just counting, and I was like 2 sheets in the wind, It was like, had a lot of Lone Stars in me that night. Anyway.
They lace them with something.
Yeah. So they're counting it out and everything, and the band's looking at you and having fun and everything. And I go, here, guys. And I just gave the $240 to the band, because it's just, that's a good thing to do, and it's just having fun, And $10, it's like, it was free to get in. It's like $10 like a tip to get in there, or a cover charge, and here's an extra. So that's how it came about. We saw Dale Watson do it. I think he found out somewhere in a club in San Diego or something. I think that's where it originated, something like that. But don't hold me onto that, though.
That probably originated from cockfighting in Thailand.
Probably.
Yeah, betting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything to win some money.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, how'd that conversation go over with Frank over at Knuckleheads?
Really good. It was like Cindy and I were just sitting around like, man, we got to do something to get this band rolling again and get some more interest built up. And she goes, man, let's just do like something like Hee Haw or let's do Chicken Shit Bingo, and let's do it on a Wednesday night because the band I was in previous, we played every Wednesday night when Frank just opened up the club, and we played there for like about 3 years every Wednesday night. So let's just do this again with the Rebels. And so we approached, Cindy approached a little email to Frank saying, man, we got to do something, how about Wednesday night? And I came up with Reckless, and she goes, yeah, it's Reckless Wednesday. So that's what it came out to be. And he loved it. He goes, yeah, let's do it. And that's how it just started. He goes, we got to just do something. You can't just sit back and wait around for something to happen. We just want to let's do this. And Frank's had us since.
Well, Frank's always put us on good opening spots for
Yeah.
big name bands coming in and trying to find the right ones that we'd fit with, whether, kind of match that rowdy nature that we have that'll fit with something classic. And you got your SoCal rockabilly guys. There was a couple gothabilly bands that come around. And I think we've opened up for like Big Sandy 3, 4, 5 times here and there. But something for our hometown folks. And you got to think this is coming out of post-COVID.
Yeah.
Where I think the first show we did after that, he's like, I got you opening up for Junior Brown, but it's 50% capacity. So it's been a tough comeback. And this has been one of those things that kind of encourages people to come out like, hey, no, stuff's going on. Come on out.
Yeah, come on out.
It's a good time.
We had a good night there. It was packed when we were there. That Chicken Shit Bingo, I know people that usually get up and go do something or, have a smoke or whatever it is. They were sticking around.
I know, man.
Because they wanted to win the
It's one of
most.
those things
win.
that's kind of turned out to be just a natural little community builder.
Well,
Yeah,
and you
exactly.
can't argue that just what you said, Jim, on the tips, because when we were there, Terry Swope, another local guitar player here in town, he was up there and sitting with us, and he won.
Okay.
Of course, he kept 20 because he needed to go buy a Jameson, but then you guys got the rest.
Well, that was super nice.
And when I was up there, at least that last time, the guy, he won. He dropped the whole thing in your
I
bucket.
know, yeah.
So good for you
Won
guys.
for a Jameson and an Uber ride home.
Yes.
Make sure they're not taking you to
His wife is
Austin.
my camera person, so he was getting a ride home anyway. As far as the band, how long has it been together? When did you guys get this thing going?
It started in 2014.
With the same 4 that's in it now?
Same 3. We always had a revolving door on the bass players, but not because of nothing panned out right.
it's just
One of them just had to
life
move.
changing,
Yeah,
yeah.
life change events. They have to move out or
nobody blew up like Spinal Tap drummers.
Yeah.
Bass players a little bit different. They actually have life things going on. Drummers just explode.
Yeah, they do.
They do crazy shit, right?
But yeah, we've
Yeah,
gone
it's
through 3 bass players now.
We're on our third.
Yeah, on our
So
third.
we've gone through 2.
Yeah,
Who's
two.
the
we're
bass
on it.
player now?
His name's Corey Corbino, and I used to play with him in a roots band in Kansas City here around in '89 called the Bendel Stiffs. And I always wanted Corey in this band when I first started, but he was always busy. He's a busy guy. He has a car dealership, and then he's
Doing repos.
6 a.m.
Perfect.
But he always
Day job.
wanted to get him in, but he was always playing with other bands, and then finally an opportunity came up, and I go, man, Corey, let's do this again. Got to get in this. And I'm so happy that he's in the band.
And the drummer?
Brian Sifton, you go with that one. You can tell
Cool.
that story.
Brian's from famous Kansas City band called Crybaby Ranch, who's actually getting back together here on the 29th of July at the Warwick Theater.
I think I saw that on Facebook. There was a post on Facebook,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
But yeah, just a multi-talented drummer that can weave in and out of your
Yeah, he's crazy.
country western Texas shuffle to
Yeah.
punk rock to a little rockabilly bot beat. He always seems to know what to throw in there.
Yeah.
We call him 2-ton drums because he hits these drums so hard.
Plays a really basic kick, but it sounds like he's on
Yeah.
2 tons of drums, man.
He's focused when he's up there.
Oh, yeah, man. He is like...
Yeah, he's wired into that deal. Now, the bass player, the first time I got to see you guys, I didn't see him sing, and then I got to see him sing a song or get up and sing this last time. So, and then I found out when you talked that was going to be one of the songs that's going to be featured on the album.
Yeah. Yep. We were just there yesterday at the studio, finishing up, doing some extra vocals and a couple guitar overdubs, and so it's getting into mix mode right now. So hopefully,
What studio you guys at?
we're at Weights and Measures. It's Dwayne Trower's studio
Yeah.
down on Truman. It's a great place, man. We were
Truman in Kansas, man.
we were waiting, like
Great
yesterday
little
at 5. We were like waiting around, and I saw all these people walking out with horns and stuff, and after it was like 5 o'clock, it was deserted. But I walked into the studio, and there was like 20 microphones all in a circle, because he had 20 horn players in there at one time recording. It's like, wow, how do you do that? I don't know.
I'd like to hear that.
I had
know.
a couple of vocal tracks to clean up. I tried to convince them to let me do it while running around.
Yeah,
all the
running around the
vocals.
20 mics. But it was cool.
He said that's extra, but I said, you know what? It's already set up. I don't think it's extra. So
Yeah.
we're going to wait for that 20
Are we,
person band to play before we record our next.
the big band?
Yep.
Are we trying to get it out for the holidays?
No, I'm trying to get it out in August.
Oh, this
That
August.
quick.
Yeah, we like to work pretty quick.
Yeah.
The first record we made, I think, had 11, 12, 13 tracks. I think we
Yeah.
recorded 13. Maybe it had 11 on it.
Yeah.
But it just kind of got a couple of them are even still being written. And I think this was with Dwayne in his old place.
It was.
And, yeah, it kind of got to be a little bit of a chore. Got to a point where I think I even lost my voice in the middle of it, kind of like I am now. But that was probably cigarettes and bourbon. So had to cut back on that. But then we went with this process on the next one where we said, well, let's do it 4 songs real quick.
Yeah.
Our 4 newest songs. Let's go in there and pop them out. And that was such a fun, enjoyable experience. And we said, from now on, that's like 4 or 5.
Yeah, I was going to do 4 or 5 at a time, so like 3 originals and maybe a couple covers or.
It keeps it fresh.
Always-
and with the
yeah.
way that digital music is now, I mean, you can pop it together. You can make your own mix. You don't have to have it on an LP.
So who did the Dora Hand video?
I actually shot it on my little iPhone right here.
Outstanding
Plug for
video.
iPhone.
In fact, I
Yeah, I need iPhone 13
Jim's got a
Apple.
degree in that stuff. If
I
y'all don't know.
showcased that video for
Thanks.
a couple of weeks prior to coming and see you back in April,
Yeah.
because nobody that had, at least with my crew of people with Fox 4 and AMPR, had heard of PopSkull Rebels. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure. It was either you or Scylla that had commented on one of our posts that we put up for another band. And the first thing that I got to see when I went to the web page was that video.
Oh, wow. Cool. Yeah.
And my wife, who usually, hates any of the shit that I listen to, right? She,
Yeah.
I'll flip it from my phone or my laptop up to the TV. And so she got to see that. So you guys got my wife's approval on
Yes.
that video. So
Thank you.
And she really does. She doesn't
Yeah,
like
cool.
any of the music
Yeah.
I listen to. I drag her around to a bunch of this
I guess
stuff.
we can't take all credit for that because Jim's daughter, Rebecca, is a screenwriter with her friends out in Los Angeles, and they have been working on this kind of Western show called Soiled Doves for years,
Like a
doing it
pilot.
all do-it-yourself, writing, filming, shooting, and all that. And I believe they got picked up by somebody where they kind of shot that pilot. And I think it's stagnated now, but they allowed us to use some of that original footage that they have. So that's where when it looks like the movie scenes, when it's cut from a movie, that is
it's from my daughters.
Jim's daughters.
Yeah.
Stuff.
It was fantastic. It was done very well. I was
thank you.
impressed. Well, the song was good too, and it's good every time I hear it live.
It's pretty rocking. Yeah. It's fun.
Yeah, it's a real good song. So tell me about this. On this disc here that you gave me, you had the 4 songs on here. Did you guys do this? When did this come out?
That's probably about a couple years old, isn't it?
Yeah, so we recorded that right before COVID hit.
Yeah, March 23rd, right before it shut down.
Yeah,
we got that
right
done.
before the shutdown. We were kind of building up, not
Yeah.
knowing what was going
Yeah,
on, trying to book
exactly.
shows, what's going on, and
Yep. That's
Will these make
and
it
all
to the
it all
album?
Kind of died out. What's that now?
Will these 4 make it to the new album?
No,
No.
that is
All
just,
new.
just
That's
what it
just
is.
it.
That's what we were saying before, that each, you call it album, extended play, EP, long play. We're only doing 4 or 5 songs at a time.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And you can get them in CD form. And honestly, we've always wanted to put stuff down on vinyl. And everybody knows that 7 inches is best.
Yeah.
And when you play songs as fast as we do, you could probably get 2 songs on each side. So that's the goal eventually. But that timeline for vinyl is so backed up right now that just on CD and digital, 4 songs at a time, anybody that's listening can burn themselves a CD or put it on their playlist, choose their favorite PopSkull Rebels songs, and make their own playlist out of
Right.
everything we've ever done.
Yeah, I think the next
So
one.
it's
won't
really,
be
we were
CD.
kind of in this era of all the rules have changed. So when you started, it was all about singles. People didn't make long play records. It was singles. And then what came around the time of, 56, Elvis Presley, those guys on into Led Zeppelin era, everything was long play.
Yeah.
And even, say, when like the Clash are putting out records, some of their best singles, well, they're just singles. They're not even on the records. You got to buy the single. And now when that comes to digital, and man, I hate to say it, Lars was right.
Yeah, he was right.
He came at it from the wrong direction, but
Yeah,
Lars
yeah.
was right. Yeah, sorry, everybody.
Napster.
Yeah, it just did, because, you know,
Yeah.
you don't run up and steal a painting that a guy's painting, do you?
Yeah.
No.
You don't run up and steal a sculpture that a guy's sculpting, do you?
No, but they.
But fuck this band. I'm just going to take their shit that they worked hard for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's fine, because I'm still going to play music anyways.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm just saying, from the principle of the thing, that's a shitty way to look at it.
Well,
And how does that all factor in when you're a kid and a teenager in the mid to late 90s, and they've switched over from cassettes to CDs, and maybe a band puts out one good single, and you got anywhere from 12 to 18 tracks on that are absolute shit, and they're charging you $20,
Yeah.
and you might work at the barbecue shop down the way for $8 an hour, and you got to buy that, or they put you in mall jail for trying to steal it.
Well, that's what Tom Petty did. You know, he was anti-record company. You know, everybody knows that. That's
Yep.
why they brought it down the price of albums. You know.
So it's a perfect storm, though, you know, for something like Napster to happen, where it's like, well, fuck it, just steal it. But when you had guys like us that we started playing gigs, you know, I'm 39 now. I played my first paying gig in Westport when I was 14. We always thought, well, look, I'm not trying to be a millionaire. It's like to play for fun, but I'm also not trying to have you steal my shit.
Yeah, but the best bands that did, the Tom Petty bands, they performed the best on live. They knew they did. Their fans followed them.
Oh, yeah.
The Grateful Dead, who I followed for many years, they could care less if they ever hit the studios. They did, but they were on stage because they loved playing live music.
Yeah.
I'll take the stage over the recording studio any
Yeah.
day.
I agree. I totally agree.
It's fun, and we work with great people. I mean, Dwayne's number one, but I mean, I was hanging from the rafters in Vandalia, Missouri last weekend. So I don't think, for the people that saw that's not going to happen in the studio.
How was that show?
It's pretty wild.
Yeah, it was a good time. It's a neat little town. You ever been there?
I haven't. I just saw your guys' post on it. I'd never even heard of it before.
It was just in central Missouri, kind of, don't you think, or
East Central.
east central?
It's north of Mexico.
Super nice
We
people there
typically are.
too. And then they saw us at a drag race, the Bethany Drags, last year, and one of the guys, Denny, Snuffy is his nickname, saw us, and he lives in Vandalia. And he goes, "Man, I want to have you guys down here for our little summer palooza," they call it, and they have car show there, rides for kids, and vending, and they have 2 bands. So we
Horses and barrel racing.
I know,
Like,
man. It's so cool. Just I love that
It's
old,
exciting.
old hometown, small town fun. You know,
Is that Saturday night?
it was Saturday night, and we were there, and we played like 4 to 6:30 or so, and they just treated us like gold. They were so nice people, you know, and that's just what it's all about, just having fun and meeting great people along the way, you know.
You guys like performing outside?
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know when you guys are playing at Knuckleheads, they always put you in the saloon. But I think actually you told me that you guys get out on the outdoor stage.
We've been out on the outdoor stage a couple times. Yeah. I think the only room we haven't played there is Carl Butler's Gospel Lounge, and I'm pretty sure I struck a deal with him
Yes.
last Wednesday to make that happen, but that's a story for another time.
It's a great
let's
sound.
see, we did
Great
the
sound in there.
Yeah, it is. It's nice
Alzheimer's
little
benefit with James Envelt.
Yeah.
We were on the outside stage for that.
Yeah.
I can't remember who we opened for, but it was one of those big nights where we had my duet partner frequently, Candy Koss, came out and sang some songs. I'm really blanking on who we opened up for that night, but there was a really nice big crowd. Otherwise, we were in the garage so many times, open up for Eskimo Brothers, Junior Brown.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll stop on that. We'll take a break, and we'll be back. So we're back here at the studio, as we call it, the studio, at the Moss Garage Bar.
Yes.
This is
It's a very
the
fine
Moss
garage.
It is. It's awesome.
Hot rod.
Yeah, we had some
Hot Rod Sports
ideas on where we were going to put this, and he brought me out to this garage, and we knew this was going to be the place. So I want to kind of go back on the beginning of PopSkull Rebels. Jim, you had kind of touched on a little bit. One of the bands, you were with a band here in town for many years. You want to go into that?
Yeah. When I first moved up here, I'm from Springfield, Missouri, but played in bands down there a lot, and moved up here in about 89 and started playing with these roots rock guys, and it was Mike Newall and his band called Bendel Stiffs, and it was just a lot of fun. I was playing with those guys, and we probably played for about 4 years, and then up until took a little hiatus off, and then in '98 I was getting really into rockabilly. I really liked rockabilly back in '78. I'm showing my age, but I wanted to get a rockabilly outfit going, and back in '98 I started it up with a few guys, and it was called the Rumble Jets, and we've been playing since 2013. So that was a good run, and we played a lot of places, did a couple Europe tours, and trying to get the Rebels next summer in Europe.
Yeah, I'm not sure they'll give me a passport, but we'll try.
Oh, they will. We'll put you in the banana
I'll fly
boat.
under the wing.
Or that it'll come back.
I'll be that thing on the wing.
We'll get you in that Titanic, in the bottom, the Irish area.
How'd you like
The
that
wheel
playing in Europe?
Holder?
Yeah, no.
I don't get me that thick for that.
No. Well, I got off, of course. So, but anyway, so the Jets, we kind of just ran its course. It was great run, and I just fiddling around. And I always knew about Kurt. His brother came in. Scylla and I run a shop called barbershop called Chop Tops. So
That's where I get my haircut.
Yes, and thank you so much for doing that. And Kyle would come in, his brother would come in and get haircuts, and he goes, "Man, my younger brother, man, always wanted to, get in this bands, get a band going, go, well, what's he like to do? Well, he likes like you guys do, rockabilly and punk and all that stuff. And, well, hey, I'm coming down, so Kirk came in one day, we were just shooting shit and talking, and we go, man, let's do something, and we just just thought about it, and then I'm gonna just call him, and it's like, let's get together, and it was just me and him, running through some tunes and stuff, and we was like, man, this is fun. And then Brian Sifton, he was a client of ours at Chop Tops, and would come in, get his hair cut, and he's the drummer, and Crybaby Ranch just broke up too. Just not broke up. I don't say that. Just disbanded because just the way it was. It just happens. And he goes, man, you looking for a drummer? I go, yeah, hell yeah, I am. I go, let's do it, And then we
landed the best guy in town.
I know. And then I was trying to get a bass player, and so we put an ad out in Craigslist. You get all.
Boy, did we get one from Craigslist.
Oh, but anyway, I put this ad out.
Any of that on video?
Yeah. And put this ad out, look, roots rock bass player, blah blah blah, and this guy named Kenny Dupree, he's from he's from not Lafayette, Shreveport, Louisiana.
Kenny Dupree already sounds like a made-up name.
I know, and it's like he wrote this long list of things he likes to do, and like this, and like, man, this is a guy. And we brought him over, and he just fit like a glove, And so we started. We did like a 4-song EP with him, and worked out great. And ever since then, we've just been. He had to move to San Francisco for reasons, and we found another bass player, Mike Green. And he used to play with the Front. I don't know if you heard of the Front, but they were like a big, not a heavy metal band, but just kind of like an NXS blend rock band. Was it early '80s or?
It was the late 80s.
Late 80s.
They were kind of in between hair metal and grunge.
Yeah.
Where it was still
Here in Kansas City.
Yeah.
Yeah, good rockin' riffs, but not quite grungy. Still very technical, good guitar playing.
Yeah, and
on that, and Mike's kind of a guitar wizard, and,
Yep.
and bass was just something that he hadn't done before.
Mm-hmm.
He'd seen us a couple times and kind of known Jim a little bit. Thought we were cool guys, and his band was Shanks was a cover band that was kind of ending, and he needed something to do and some
Yeah.
cool guys to hang out with. So he chose us. And like, shit, that's an honor. So
yeah.
he hung with us for a couple of years, and now he's back to playing guitar, Supersonic Starship,
Yeah, that's correct.
rocking out the guitar again. And we call him the Butcher. If you ever eat Anton steaks, man, you've eaten one of Mike Green's butchered steaks.
Yeah.
But,
He works at the World Market. If you ever go there at 51st and Main,
Sure, yeah.
go get you a cut. He'll treat you right. Mike Green, the Butcher. But anyway, he started the other band, and then back to the Bendel Stiffs. Like, I always wanted to get Corey in the band, and he's like, man, we got this opening for bass player. Man, I really want you to play with us. And he goes, okay, let's do it. So he's been with us since about going on 2 years now, isn't it?
going on 2 or 3 years.
2 or 3 years, and
Yeah, it's getting amazing how time flies by.
I know.
Rebel's been going almost 7 years because, just like to me, it was the other day I was going to a Rumble Jets show where Crybaby Ranch was opening up. And, you couldn't have a luckier guy in Kansas City than me, a guy that I was getting out of underscoring theater and plays and stuff and really wanting to get a new band going. And I kind of had this Reverend Horton Heat meets Creed Clearwater,
the Cramps.
and the Cramps thing going
love it.
on. And it just so happened that the Jets landed the plane and all that. And Jim had given me a call, and we started talking about all the music that we liked. And like, oh, well, let's just get together in the front of Chop Tops and see what happens. And I think one of the big things is like, kind of my fear is like, well, you don't want to be straight rockabilly, do you? Because you've kind of done that.
Did that, yeah, already did that.
And you can't be Rumble Jets 2.0
No,
because
no.
they held it down as Kansas City's premier rockabilly band for
Where were you
decades.
guys playing?
We were playing a lot. Knuckleheads. That was one of the first bands that we played for like 3 years every Wednesday night, starting in '98, when Frank still had Fog Cycles, and he wanted to get into live music. And he just the next room, where the inside stage is, that was just all like parts room or wherever. And he had where the stage is now is kind of catty-corner in the back. And from there, he just grew and back, where the outside stage is, that little train car is.
Sure.
That was the first outside stage, and we played out on that. And he had the caboose or whatever it is behind it. I mean, yeah, he's just grown, but that's how, we played. And then we had a couple tours in Europe, over in Belgium and Germany, and that was so much fun and
How was Europe?
great.
Different kind of crowd, isn't it?
Yeah, and they love live
I hear
American
it.
music.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
Bob Walkenhurst and those guys
yeah.
they were telling
Yeah,
me
the
the same
Rainmakers.
thing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And it's like, man, we got to get over there. And we found a promoter that liked us a lot and took a gamble on us. And we got over there, and all we had to do is buy our plane tickets over there. And he took care of all the gigs and the band apartment. So
Actually, it was Jeff Porter who was telling me, he goes, the weirdest thing over there, when you play, nobody's talking. You know,
No.
because here you got crosstalk. You're at a
Oh
bar.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah, everybody's back here.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Drunk
Because
and
over
bad
there,
as hell.
nobody
Yeah,
talks.
no.
Falling off the fucking balcony.
And they're all right up on the front, just staring at you. It's just you feed off of that. It's great.
Real American.
It is so good. It is crazy. And then every club owner over there, you get there and you drive up in the bus or a little shuttle van, and club owners would feed you dinner, before you play. And it's like, you don't have to do that. Oh, I want to. And that's where you get to know them,
Yeah.
and just make a contact with them. And it's great here too, but it's just awesome too over there in Europe. It's just
Well, I want to go when you guys go.
well,
I'll
you're
hang
I
there.
out
think we're
there.
gearing up for it. Yeah.
Yeah, she's told me some of those trips. A lot of fun.
Oh, it is. It's great.
Yeah. Okay, so Teardrop. Let's besides the theater, what bands were you playing in here in the Kansas City area before PopSkull?
Well, hijacked my first band in I think it was '98. I think they were called Retina or something, and we
Memorable.
just so memorable. Songs, the drums, every song went.
Nothing wrong with that.
But I was thinking, I grew up playing in church and everything, and always wanted to have a rock band. And when we landed in the Kansas City area, I met these two slackers at basketball practice, and I was like, if you assholes just tried a little bit, you'd actually make the A team. They're like, we don't care, man. We have a band. I was like, well, you know what? I just happen to have a guitar. When's your next practice? Totally just invited myself in.
Nice.
As Teardrop does. Yes.
I was going to tell you something real quick. Here's how Kurt got into the band too. It's like I was sitting working at the desk at the salon, at the barbershop, and I'm just sitting there, and here he comes with a big old fifth of Rebel Yellow whiskey. I go, hell yeah, man! This guy, I like him, man. You're in. That's
like, well-
what sealed the deal.
I haven't even heard him play. But
No,
you're
no,
right.
no. He brought a big old.
I'm the guy that makes it. I'm like, well, here you go. Never get my haircut again. Give me something to remember me by.
No, that sealed the deal. Go, all right, this guy's in.
But that what became a first band was kind of just pop punk, kind of reggae stuff. And then I started running with some cats older than me. I should say I actually landed right here in Liberty from Fayette, Missouri. And this was a very, very musical town. I mean, even at 14 years old, like having a band was a normal thing. It's like kind of like you see in your typical movie biopic movies. Like, yeah, they started when they were 12, 14. By the time they were 15, they had a hit record. He had 2 kids and a wife.
Sounds like Dewey Cox.
That's it's a little bit walk hard. But that's the thing. And there were some guys that were a year older than me, and we put together this town festival that was Sweet Sounds Fest, I think in 98, 99 maybe, where, we had a freshman band, a sophomore band, a junior band, a senior band. We had a band that went to William Jewell, and we had some kids that were in 7th grade that had a band. And we put it on all of the little, it was west side. There was a pool that was down by the high school. And they erroneously let us rent it out. And it turned into, hell, we had a kid, Mark Murphy and the Rough Riders was a rap group. We had just everything there. So that's how invested we were at that young age. Like, we just thought this is what we do. We don't give a shit if we're still in junior high. We're going to act like we're professionals and put on the show in this town.
Yeah, sweet.
And so, when I kind of outgrew that, started playing with the older guys, it turned more into post-punk, hardcore, a little bit of math rock stuff. But that just wore out after a while because there's not a lot of roots in it. And I was always a roots guy. I love a lot of Bob Marley reggae, Johnny Cash, Elvis Presley.
Good stuff.
And Clash and Misfits punk rock, where you can tie all those together. You're like, dude, this is some 1-4-5, very basic music plus emotion. And that's when I was kind of done with that. I just didn't want to do that anymore. And surprisingly, the guys from that post-punk hardcore band turned into a very successful rock reggae band in Kansas City called 77 Jefferson.
Oh, really?
Who've made documentaries with Toots and the Maytals and all those guys.
Sure,
They just,
yeah.
and they kind of still call every now and then. They're like, yeah, you were the one guy we knew with reggae records and shit like that.
That's
I'm
awesome.
proud of you guys, man. Eat it up. That's great.
No doubt.
So proud of
That
it.
is cool.
And, but yeah, that's where not being able to put together a band and figure out what I wanted to do. Like I said, I was kind of thinking, I love that swampabilly Reverend Horton Heat thing, and just to fill my time. My mom was actually a theater director and had an award-winning troupe that was winning shows. And I said, well, you know, what if we make it more like the professional shows? My brother was an actor at the time. And those professional off-Broadway shows, they all have music on them. And a lot of the younger high school, post-high school shows, they're bland. So I said, let me underscore a couple.
To the mom?
Yep.
To your mom?
Well, it happened. They ended up winning the Kansas City Fringe Festival,
Oh, nice.
which got us a spot on the International Fringe Festival in Edinburgh. And that is how you say it. It's not Edinburgh.
Edinburgh.
It's Edinburgh.
And brah.
And they said, where you from, boy? I said, Missouri. They said, that's how you say it, boy, Missouri.
Missouri. Missouri.
But that was a blast. You know, that was a month over in Europe and doing that. But coming back from that.
Good family gig.
That really put the aching into. I've been playing classical guitar at Penn Valley, just learning things outside my box, outside of rock and roll and all that. And that really brought it back home to roots. If this kid had stayed in Fayette, Missouri, what would he have done? He'd be a roots music player. But now you've also lived in the kind of city punk rock life for another 15, 20 years. You can't deny that either. And I think that really envelops that PopSkull Rebels sound. We can hold a country western audience. You can put us with the punk rockers at any other bar. We'll make them afraid to go on stage. We will outplay them. They can't be as crazy as us.
Well, I knew I liked you when you guys came out with some Jason and the Scorchers, who was playing around the college towns back in the 80s. So,
Yeah.
I mean, a long time, big fan of those guys.
It's kind of one of the first things Jim ever said at one of our jams. We got a
Yeah.
little bit crazy, and he's like, "You kind of got that Jason thing going on." And
That's what I told-
didn't really
that's
remember
what I
that
told
band.
Jim and
He's
Sella.
like, no, go look them up. He's like, they had some MTV videos. Like he's like,
Yeah.
you'll remember them.
I saw him down in Troost. Like I was in a ska band in Springfield. And we always come up to Music Box on Troost and 47th, and I was not hanging with, but we went to their show. They were playing a club called Adrian's, and it's just right across from is it Rockhurst? Yeah, and they were playing the same night. We were playing down at the Music Box, and we got done at the Music Box. Let's go see Scorchers, and we went up there and watched them play, and that was like 82.
Yeah. They were still Jason and the Nashville Scorchers.
Yeah,
in
Nashville
82.
Scorchers.
Yeah.
And man, it's like, this is awesome, man. It's like, this is a lot of fun. But yeah, the Downliner played down there with this ska band with us. But anyway, Scorchers were right around that time frame.
Yeah.
They're awesome. Super
Very-
nice
They're one
guys
of those bands
too.
that could hang with anybody else.
Yeah.
Whether it was country western guys mixed
Exactly.
that with Jason, and then Warner,
Yeah.
could stand next to CC DeVille and outplay him.
Yeah.
Well, they'd get a little punk too. I mean,
Oh, yeah,
the mosh pit was always part of their deal
Sure.
as well, you know.
Yep.
For sure, but Jason's also very deep spiritual writer as well.
And very intelligent. If you
Yeah.
ever heard him talk, he is a very intelligent guy.
And he's
too.
still out there doing it.
He's got Farmer Jason too. That's
Yeah,
cool.
he's still out there doing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Fantastic guy.
Okay, so we're going to go. You touched on Chop Tops. I wanted to elaborate a little on that. Chop Tops, located down in Westport and Brookside, two
That's correct.
locations. And where I down at the Westport location, I will tell you that it is a great place to go get your hair cut, but the music memorabilia on the walls is
Oh,
the
yeah.
best part of your store. I mean, to tell you, I could have just stayed there as I walked around. I mean, it's very cool. I think that's very, I don't know
Thank
what
you.
Brookside
Thank you.
has,
Thank
but
you.
I know
It's-
that
it's the same look.
Is it?
Yeah.
But when did you start Chop Tops?
Well, we started that Scylla used to be an educator for product lines, for beauty supplies and stuff like that. And in 2005, we were out playing a show in Denver, and we were coming home from I-70, and we just we got to do something, and we just came up with a salon idea and came up with the name, and so she started it, and she's done a great success with it, and that's we started in 2005 over in Merriam, Kansas, downtown there, and then we opened up Westport in 07, and then 2 years later we had the Brookside store, and then we just got 2 right now.
God, I didn't realize that long. Where in Merriam?
You know where the farmers market is?
Sure.
It's just catty corner across the street from there. There's I think it's a spice place now where you can buy salt crystals and stuff like that, and nice gifts.
That's not a metaphor, folks.
Spice.
Ain't no spice metaphors.
So how do you find the time, man? I mean, because you're there all the time, and you're
I don't know. We just
playing music.
We just go for it. That's the way you have to live life, man. Just have to keep pushing forward and get goals and stuff, and because I'll be doing it till I fall over, and it's just got to keep going, man. I just got a great crew,
Keys are just, man, we have a blast.
Yeah.
Nobody's out here trying to make $1 million bucks or, you see me do there, make it. I mean, hell, they don't even play videos on MTV. I mean, how do you make it? That's chosen by lizard people.
Yeah.
Anymore. It's
obvious.
You know what I'm saying, man.
Sure.
Lizard people choose the stars. So that's what, no matter how many hours you work a day, you have fun doing this.
Yeah.
And if you were trying to get anything else out of live music besides having a good time, it's going to wear you out.
Yeah.
It's going to grind you down.
Like turns into a job.
Yeah, and it
but
turns into
never
a
has.
job. And then you start.
Well, you guys are having fun on stage. It's obvious.
always,
It brings
man.
the crowd into it. I mean, well, I guess I did see you without chicken shit bingo at the barbecue joint down there in Merriam.
Oh yeah, Woodyard.
Woodyard.
Yeah. Man, what a great barbecue, man. That's good
A
stuff.
great burn-ins.
Tracers was
Yeah,
down there.
Tracer Heights
I don't remember the other band. though.
and
Strawbilly.
Strawbilly.
Oh yeah, it was Strawberry. That's
Yep.
right. Yeah.
That was a fun night.
Yeah, that was a
Good
fun
buddies
night.
of
Man,
ours,
the weather was so
Strawbilly,
nice, and
Yeah, that was good. The band, the PopSkull Rebels that you guys are promoting, you've got all kinds of venues here in town that you play. Is there a venue that you like better than another, and why?
I don't know. I think they're all kind of a different feel because we got a show coming up at Lemonade Park in August. I think it's the 16th or 19th. And man, when we played there a couple years ago, it's an outdoor venue down by Voltaire. Man, it's just so much fun, And it's Steve Tuapana's place, the record bar owners. He opened that up because they needed something to do, during the pandemic, and they got that live music going on. I was just, wow, this is awesome.
That place is great.
And then like Frank at Knuckleheads, man, that is just outstanding place too. And he treats us like gold, and it's just I don't know. It's never had any bad experiences. I mean, we used to play Davies.
Davies Uptown.
That was fun, and it's just I don't know. It's just the way you approach it. If you go in there and like, oh man, what the PA sucks, or look at that over here, it's too tiny a stage.
Heck,
You never have fun. But we go in there and it's like, man, this is gonna be a good time, and meet the people there and just have a great time. I think that's what it's all about, is having fun. And I don't know. It's hard to say what's the favorite.
You can't
place.
really slap
Well, that's
a
a
favorite
great-
on
a
there.
great outlook,
You just
though.
find the gigs that work well with your band, the venues that bring the crowds, that have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a little bar down by the original Chop Tops called Bilski's.
Oh, yeah,
That they put
Bilski's.
us in the front
Yeah.
window. We'd bring our own PA and sound, and it was one of the funnest places ever.
Yeah.
Is it still
And the
there?
crowd,
No.
active people were just townies. They'd come down from the hills and for
Yeah.
a tenderloin from Bilski's, and they'd have a blast.
And then they had this drink. They put it on a ski, and they had like 5 shots in a row, and they called it a shot ski. And everybody had to be in in a line, and everybody's like, "Bloop," and just drink a shot. It was just nuts.
Off the
in the
ski.
middle
Off
of
the
a song.
ski.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, we're going to cut for
Sure.
a minute, and when we come back, we'll kind of get into some upcoming gigs and things like that. All right, we're back. Everybody's drained themselves, or at least Teardrop has. He found the nicest bathroom he's ever been in.
Fancy.
Here at the Dane Estate.
It's got sharp protection.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know, I guess it was February, March, maybe. We'd already been doing the AMPR Plaza Presents for a couple months, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And was it you or Scylla that commented on one of the posts?
It was Scylla.
Scylla.
Yep.
So Scylla's post said, "Great, thank you for promoting live music. Great intro to that." And so she said, "We've got a great band. If you want to give us a listen." She included the link, as I mentioned earlier. So that led me to the website. The website, of course, is done very well. The first thing I saw on there, of course, was the video. We got the video. I went into that story. And a little background that I know about you, Jim, is that you're a graphics editor and have done all that kind of work with a little tiny company here in Kansas City called Hallmark Cards.
Yeah, worked there. Hallmark.
little startup joint.
Yeah, just a little startup. When I first moved up here, I was working in the original Hallmark building. It's not there anymore. They mowed it down. But you know where all the aluminum twisty thing is? That little art thing.
Oh, yeah.
They had right across the street was their main. That was the original Hallmark building. They had that's where the studio was where I worked at, and upstairs, they had where everybody was a sales room and made cards up there. It was crazy.
Yeah.
We went up there, just when during nothing going on. A buddy of mine would go up there and look around that old building, and it's too bad they should have kept it as a museum or something.
Yeah.
But boom, now it's just a grass field.
Yep.
Well, the graphics that you do on the website, the stuff that you do on Facebook, they're outstanding.
Oh, thank you very much.
And
Thank you.
I think all the local bands that focus on that. I mean, I think they do better. They seem to do better.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll kind of that will segue right into I know the events page on there as well as on your guys' Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you go ahead and tell us about some of the events that you got coming up here at the end of the summer, going into the fall and into the winter. And then give us a plug on how to find you guys.
Well, no, we got the big Crybaby Ranch reunion tour with our drummer Brian Sifton and Candy Crybaby Koss coming up. That's
Candy Crybaby Cross.
It's Candy Koss.
That's a tongue twister. Say it 3 times.
Well, when Crybaby Ranch ended and she was looking for something to do, started having her kind of come in and be a duet partner with me.
Yeah.
And to kind of promote it as if you just write Candy Koss on there, the band being Crybaby Ranch just lended itself as an easy nickname for her as being Candy Crybaby
Yeah.
Koss. And Candy Crybaby Ranch. We had some shows that were just flooded with people that hadn't seen Candy sing in a couple of years. So that became a really big draw really quickly. And they are well overdue for a reunion, and it is happening at the Warwick Theater on Friday the 29th
Of
July.
This month.
Oh, okay.
And a cool thing about that story about the Warwick Theater, he's one of clients of ours that come in the store, and his name's Bob Paisley, and he owns the place, and he's been doing a lot of theater work, and he wanted to start getting live music in there now. So we're one of the first shows. He had some jazz combos in there, but this is the first show that he's having a real full band's playing.
Yeah, Jim doesn't consider jazz real music.
Yeah, I do. I do. Dooba-dooba-dooba.
I play it. Nope.
No.
We love jazz. My God, Grand Marquis is one of our favorite bands. It's just a long running
Only
joke.
jazz music.
It is a long
running
marijuana.
joke. I just don't like jazz cymbals. No, I just
We
tease
had
it.
we
I
had
love
a drummer.
jazz.
Our Brian Sifton was out of town once, and it was a show that we couldn't cancel on. So we had our buddy Brian Herman from Sundog Surf set in. And
Brian,
he
sorry.
he was playing a cymbal riff that Jim wasn't really feeling. He couldn't describe it, why he didn't like it. And Jim just blurts out, "Not so much jazz." And Brian Herman turns beet red. He's just like, we're like, he didn't mean it like that, man.
No, I didn't mean it like that, Brian. Never do.
So no, of course I played some gypsy jazz and classical stuff in my 20s. I'll throw a chord or two like that into a song every now and then, and you'll see Jim's head cock over like that. It's like, well, what's that called? Well, that's a 6/9 sus7. And he's like, is that jazz?
Yeah, is that jazz?
That sounded like jazz.
But it's all fun and games. So, the Warwick Theater for people me
Yeah.
like me
Okay.
that didn't show
29th
up
of
in Kansas
July.
City for a
Yep.
long time.
And then we got Lemonade Park coming up August 19th. That's a Friday. And we're playing with Strawbelly, our good buddies, and then John Quigley, his band too. And then on August 31st, we're back with Reckless Wednesdays at Knuckleheads. Then we're going in September 15th and 16th. We're going out to the State Fair of Kansas.
That's right. Corn dogs and funnel cakes.
Jay, you can tell us the stories about Hutchinson for us?
Well, my stories about Hutchinson are limited because I wasn't there very long. But,
Okay.
yeah, we used to like to get really fucking stoned and go to that Cosmosphere and sit in there.
Nice.
It was absolutely the best time.
Were any of them fueled up? Did you try?
We went to the moon.
We're going to
I
blast
got
off
some
in
rocks.
this
I'll
son of a
show you.
bitch.
And we went to Pluto too. Then we got one more show.
Not planning anymore, Jim. You can't go
I
there.
know, man. And we got one more show we're really looking forward to. Also, is December 2nd with the Mezcal Brothers. They're good buddies of mine up from Lincoln, Nebraska. And man, if you haven't seen the Mezcal Brothers, man, you've been for a big treat, man. They're just
What date again?
That is December 2nd at Knuckleheads. It's a Friday night, so
You know what stage?
I think it's going to be at the garage.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
So it'll be a lot of fun. That's right now. That's all we have. If anybody wants to book us, we got PopSkullRebels.com. I also want to give you a quick synopsis, or not synopsis, but the reason why we're called PopSkull Rebels is PopSkull is was in Franklin, Tennessee with Scylla. We love Civil War stuff, and we went to the museum, and there's this tiny little white bottle about this big, and a little card down there. It goes, hey, this is what the soldiers would make out in the field. They called it PopSkull. So then the next morning, your brain's just popping because you're just making rot gut whiskey out in the field of old corn or whatever you can find, and stump juice.
Probably sweat ringed out of your
Yeah, your
wool uniform.
uniform.
During the war in June.
But yeah, you can find us all on the socials. That's about it. That's really good.
All right.
Yeah, we got everything. We got the face space. We got the InstaWebs.
Yeah.
We're out there.
Face
If you
space.
find us, we're there. But really, just PopSkullRebels.com.
Yeah.
We're one of those few. With Jim's skills, we're able to have an actual
Indeed.
.com where you can just come and see what's going on. Because
Okay. And then is this available on right now? Can people pick this up?
Well, there's a contact on the website, and if you just contact us, we'll send you one out. Yeah.
For free?
Well, wherever you like to donate.
or you can
I'll
write
do
a
free.
handwritten letter
Yeah.
to 817 Westport Road, Kansas City, Missouri 64111. Address it to Teardrop.
Santa Claus.
Teardrop.
And if it doesn't get too many greasy burger stains on it, I will mail you a record. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, just check us out.
Donations
There's contact
accepted.
space on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you were thinking about getting, or what'd you say on the new record?
Yeah, we got a new record coming out. We just mixed it, or not mixed it yet, but we did final tweaks on it. And then Dwayne's going to be mixing it. Hopefully we'll get some sound files next few days. And if we okay it all, I'm going to start working on some artwork for a CD. I mean, we'll probably print like 100, and then the rest of it's going to be on all the digital formats and stuff like that. And then we got one song called Big Mac Truck. So anybody has a Mac truck, we need it for a video, because Kurt's going to be a truck driver driving through the video.
I got to hear that.
I made
on
it halfway
Wednesday.
through my CDL.
That was a great
training.
song, by the way.
Thanks, thank you. So that's what we're
And that drops in August?
that's what we're shooting for.
Okay.
Yeah, long everything
Right.
goes smooth. That's what we're going to shoot for.
It's got a little bit of, it's got some new stuff you haven't heard from Rebels before.
Yeah.
And it's got all the familiar tropes, too.
Well, if you haven't heard these guys, you need to at least go to the website and listen to the Door Hand video that Jim did, as we found out. This is great music. You guys do.
Well, thank you so much.
You do well together. I think the city of Kansas City will appreciate what you guys do. I'm proud and honored to be able to help promote whatever you guys need. You know, we're glad to hear stories like this, bands that come up from different places, but end up here in Kansas City playing local live music. And man, you guys are doing a great job doing it.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you for letting us be in the man cave here too. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
You guys are awesome.
Put your hands together for the PopSkull Rebels!
Hey girl, you wanted me to go. coming right up, so get ready!
Thanks for hanging out with us on today's episode of The BS Sessions, presented by AMPR Plaza. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode.